Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now I'm going to show you how to make this neck warmer that goes with the hat that I showed you in another tutorial. Now I've got buttons on this, it's just a fashion statement. The buttons, it doesn't open with the buttons, it's closed. You just slip this over your neck and it's really simple. I've done a very simple front and back post stitch to do this rib. I did 4 rows. I've done 6 rows of half treble crochets on that, and then I've done another 4 rows of that rib. Really easy. You can make this as big and chunky as you like. I did 64 stitches. So I'm going to show you how to make this really pretty neck warmer. When I stitched it together, I stitched it at an angle just to give it that little bit of fashion, a little bit of fashion look on it. You can use any large buttons that you want on it. Now just remember, I've just sewed the buttons right through. It doesn't open. You just slip it over your neck. So I'm going to show you how to do this really pretty easy chunky neck warmer. Now there is a video for the hat, and that's the hat that I made to match it. And this is the yarn that I used. I got this donated to me. It's a beautiful chunky yarn. I love working with chunky yarn. It's really quick to crochet, and so therefore it helps my hands a little bit as well. So this is called Kinko Comfort and it's called Cheeky Chunky. The colour of this is Peach Fizz. It's a Peach Fizz, this one. I'll hold that up if you can see. It says Peach Fizz and the shade number is 4120. It's really pretty. I really like this. I really do. And it took a ball to do the hat, and it's taken a ball and a half to do the neck warmer. So 3 balls should get you your neck warmer and your hat. Now the hat is on another tutorial, and if you look on my channel you'll see the tutorial for the hat. Brilliant hat, really basic, nice and quite stretchy but snug at the same time. It's really simple to do. A circle, you're doing a little flat circle and then crocheting up the way. Perfect. So this this is just as easy. Now I'm using a 7mm crochet hook for this. I don't have one of those addy shaped ones. It's a 7mm. Every time I go to try and get one, it's always out of stock. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and you'll need a chain of 60. I did mine 64 stitches. Do your chain and then wrap it around your neck. Make sure it'll go over your head as well. And you can easily do this from any count of stitches. So if you've got like a thinner neck or you want a wider one for a scarf, then you can do more stitches. It's up to you for this. It's up to you. So let's get on with this and I'll show you how to do this really lovely neck warmer. So you're going to do your chain, and I did 64 stitches for that neck warmer, but you can do yours whatever length you need. If you want it tighter, then do 56 stitches. If you want it wider, it's up to you. You can make your chain as long as you need it, as long as it wraps around your head so that it can slide down your head, especially when you've got it crossed over. So I found that 64 stitches was plenty. But for this sample, I'm only going to do a small sample of the stitches just to show you the pattern way. I don't want to make another whole neck warmer. So I'm just going to do a bundle of stitches. There's no stitch count for this. There's no stitch count. Make sure you keep your chain a little bit on the slack side as well. So once you've got your chain to the length that you need it, I'm going to do into the third stitch in my chain, I'm going to do a treble crochet. I'm going to put one treble crochet into every stitch. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet. So into every stitch, we're going to do a UK treble crochet. So I'm on my last stitch. Now it doesn't have a stitch count, this neck warmer. Now what I'm going to say is as well, if you want to change this from a neck warmer to a pocket scarf, make a big long chain. If you make a big long chain, you can turn this into a pocket scarf. Look at that. It would be really pretty as a pocket scarf. And then all you do, if you do it extra long, what you can do is just turn the edge up and it'll make a pocket that you can put your hand into. So you can actually turn this into a pocket scarf. It's wide enough for a scarf as well. Just make your chain much longer, and then all you'll do is with your end is just fold it over into a pocket, and you can make a pocket scarf with this. You can make a pocket scarf with any stitch. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chain three. One, two, three, and turn. That's your first treble crochet. So around the post of the next stitch, just the same way we did the hat, we're going to do 4 rows of this rib stitch. So put your yarn around your hook and you're going into those gaps and go around that stitch. So what you're going to do is you're going to work around that post. You're not going into those little stitches, you're going into the big gaps and just push your hook right through like that, right through there. Bring your yarn through and pull it up a little bit. Keep your stitch the same height as your other ones. Now the next one we're going behind it. So we're going into those same spaces, but we're coming from the back and we're going to go forward like this. Pull your stitch through and finish off your stitch. This is a front post and a back post treble crochet in the UK. If you're in the USA, this is a front and a back post double crochet. So yarn over and go around the post at the front. Remember and pull your yarn up a little bit. Yarn over and the next one's to the back. Yarn over to the front and then yarn over and come in from the back. Make sure you get that whole post. Yarn over to the front. This is really easy. I did say, oh, that's my bolly wool falling on the floor. I did say this is very easy. So you're going to work your way all the way along to the end, doing one front post, one back post stitch. So I've done my last front post. I finished on a front post, but there's no stitch count to that. So that chain of 3, I'm going to do a treble crochet into the top of that stitch. And this is what we've got. Now you can make this as long as you like. It's up to you. Now I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn my work. Now what I'm going to do is that one is at the back. This one is at the front. So I'm going to start with a back post stitch. That counts as your first treble crochet and that just keeps your edge straight. So in from the back and through like that. We're doing that back post, and then we'll do a front post. So this one's on the front, so we're going to do that from the front. Your next one is at the back, and then this one's at the front. So we're doing a back post, a front post, a back post, a front post. And you're going to do that for 4 rows. So that's row 1 and row 2. I'm going to do another 2 rows, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. I'm going to do that all the way to the end, chain 3 and turn. And when I turn, I'll be doing front post and then back post. I'll just follow my pattern, one to the front, one to the back, one to the front, one to the back. And when you start your next row, you'll have one at the back and then one at the front. So you do that for 4 rows. Don't count that first treble crochet row. Count these ones. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3 and 4 rows. And they'll come back and show you what the next part of that pattern is. So I've done my 4 rows of this rib stitch. What I did now for this pattern, I'm going to get it back. Now what I did next for it, I've done my 4 rows, and then I done 6 rows of half treble crochets. I did 6 rows of a half treble crochet, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Now into the very first stitch, I just went in there with my 3 loops and pull through all your loops. Yarn over into the next stitch and pull through all your loops. Yarn over into the next stitch, pull through all 3, and I did this for 6 rows. You can do more rows if you want to do more, or if you're turning this into a pocket scarf, then by all means do more rows and make it wider. So 1 half treble crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a half double crochet. But here in the UK, we call this a half treble crochet. So yarn over and into the stitch all the way along. So when you're at the end, make sure that you do 1 half treble crochet into that chain of 3 at the top of that chain of 3 on that row there. Chain 1 and turn, and go straight into the very next stitch. Go straight into that stitch that's at the bottom there. You're going to do 6 rows all together. I did 6 rows. That's 5 and 1 makes 6. 6 rows, and we're going to half treble crochet all the way to the end. So I'm at the end of that row, and I'm going into this. It looks like a bundle of stitches, but there is a space in there, and I'm going to put my last half treble crochet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pretend I've done 6 rows. You can just do 2 and then go back to that rib. It's up to you how wide you want it. You can do the rib shorter if you want, and then do your centre part like this. So you can do the centre part as wide as you like. You can do these as wide as you like as well. It's up to you. But this is really quick, this. So let's pretend I've done 6 rows. What you're going to do is, once you've finished doing your centre of your neck warmer, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3 and turn. Now around the posts again, even though this is a half treble crochet, you can still go around the post. So we're doing a front post stitch and then a back post. Now we'll come this way and go over and through that way with it. So yarn over and come from the back, just like we did for this bottom part. So again, we're using treble crochets for this. So around the post and pull up and one from the back and pull it through that back way. One at the front and do one from the back all the way along, and you're going to do that for 4 rows, and you're going to finish on a treble crochet. So I'll finish this row and I'll show you how to finish off your scarf. There's no point in me doing 4 rows for this. So I've got my sample done, but you remember that you're going to put 6 rows of that half treble crochet in between this rib. You can just do it like that. It'll just, you can actually do this any way that you want. You can do any combination. So I'm going to show you how I neatened up my edge on this. Chain 1 and work your way down and just put a double crochet in. If you're in the USA, that's a single crochet, one into each stitch. Just go in to each part that's here and do a double crochet, and that's going to neaten up your edge. That'll neaten up the edge, so when you do the crossover for the buttons on this, so it'll neaten up your edge right down, whether you're going to do this as a neck warmer or whether you're going to do it as a pocket scarf. It's up to you. I just put one into each of where those treble crochets were. That seemed to be enough to bring the edge in. Put one right on that very end into that corner, and then you just cut your yarn and stitch it in, and that neatens up your edge of your neck warmer or scarf, whatever it is you're doing. So once you've got the neck part of your neck warmer made, now I'm going to sew it at an angle. You can sew it that way, you can sew it that way. If you're left-handed, it's up to you which way. You can even just sew it across like that and put your buttons on. Now I've got myself some big buttons here. You don't need to put the buttons on if you don't want to, but I think it looks pretty with the buttons on. I've got 4 buttons. I'll show you how to put those on in a few minutes. Now, the way I'm going to stitch this, I'm going to stitch it at an angle so it is thinner at the neck than it is at the bottom, and make sure you can still get your head in there, no problem whatsoever. So I'm going in about 2 or 3 inches like this, and I'll sew it at an angle. I've got a darning needle here and I'm just going to attach it to the tail end of my yarn that I've got here. And you don't need to be very particular. I'm going to stitch down there and then I'll stitch down on the inside as well. So I need to go at an angle so that it's got that nice little diagonal going across there like that. You can put a pin in it if you want. So I'm going to go from here I'll just squidge it up in my hand. Now I'm just going to loop some of the yarn from underneath, and then I'll slide that up there through that stitch. I'll catch some yarn from underneath and then just come through the next stitch, and I'm going to go at an angle like that. I'll go at an angle, but I still won't. I think I'll do it like this. I'll just over sew it like that and then go down through there. I'm going right through to the other side and then just pull it up. I will stitch it at the other side as well, just to hold it. We only need to tack this in to hold it at the front. Now keep your angle going. Keep it going at a slant like this. Down through there and up through that one. And down through there and up through that one. And down through there, right to the corner and up through there. Doesn't matter what it looks like underneath. You're not going to really see it. And then down, I'm going to come right through and I'll just finish that off on that side. Just make sure my yarn stays in a perfect amount there. A few stitches back and forth on that. I'll get one more in there, I think, to take that through there. There we go. So I'll trim that end off. So when I sew the buttons on, it'll sew this in as well. So I'll put a couple of stitches in here, just pull it through, just to hold that. And when we sew the button in, it's going to hold that part down. Just hold that so it's nice and snug. Now I'm going to push my needle right through to where I want my button. I want it about there. So I'll pull that through. So I've got my button. I'll just pull that through and I'm going to stitch that button in there, right through to the other end. Doesn't take much. Just grab some of that yarn there and find your hole. I need to go find the buttonhole. There we are. And then just pull it through. Make sure it doesn't all squidge up on that side. One more will be enough to secure the button. It's only there for show. They're not going to be opening and closing these buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few stitches down through there, and I can afford to make it catch that other end, and you won't see it because it's sandwiched in there. So just go down to where I want my next button. So I'm going to bring my needle out here. I think about here is good for the next button. Just space them out evenly. So my next button. So I'm going to sew my buttons on. So I'll put the next one there, and then I'll put one there, and I'll put this other one right down here on the bottom. And that's the way my neck warmer's going to look, and it'll be really pretty, especially along with the hat. Now the hat is on another tutorial. If you have a look on my channel, the hat went on a little bit earlier. So the hat's already on the tutorial if you want the hat to go along with the neck warmer. It's really pretty. So I'm going to sew my buttons on and I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's got its buttons on. So that's my neck warmer all finished. It's really pretty. And there's plenty of room to get your head in and for it nice to be nice and snug around your neck. And when I've put the buttons on, it's stitched down that inside flap as well. And look at that. I'm going to send this to my daughter. We keep my daughter warm when she goes out to her work. And look at that. It's really pretty. And that's it. That is how to make a neck warmer. It's super easy. Do whatever stitch you like in it. As long as you do your chain that's going to go around your neck. And I've done it at this jaunty little angle so that it makes it at a nice little angle rather than just straight up and down. Now, the buttons are not functional. They're just stitched in there. It's just there for fashion statement. So that is the neck warmer. And I'll show you once again the hat. Now remember the hat is on another video. It's on another tutorial. The hat, I'll pop that way so you can see that that's got a pom-pom on it. And that is it. It's really, really pretty. A neck warmer and a pom-pom hat for the winter. Keep you warm, so it will. So thank you very much for watching. If you please click on that subscribe button. And if you click on the bell icon, then YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. So until the next time, stay warm, stay safe, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.